The galaxy was watching, and the aliens laughed loudly at what they called Earth's primitive warship. They said no planet as small as Earth could ever build a vessel strong enough to survive in real space battles. Yet, far away from the mocking eyes of the galaxy, humanity was quietly working in secret. Engineers and scientists moved swiftly in hidden facilities, checking every panel, every weapon, every system of the prototype that the aliens thought was worthless. The warship was small, yes, much smaller than the massive fleets the aliens had. Its hull looked simple, almost fragile, with shiny white plating and strange blue lights that pulsed along its body. The crew inside knew the ship's size was its secret strength. They had designed it for speed, intelligence, and stealth, not for brute force. Every corner of the ship held surprises the galaxy had never imagined. Commander Ryland stood on the bridge, looking at the holographic map of the galaxy in front of him. His eyes were sharp, his hands steady, and his mind was calm. "They laugh because they do not understand," he said quietly to his first officer, Myra. "But that will change very soon." Myra nodded, her face tense but confident. "They will regret underestimating us," she replied. Meanwhile, in the nearby star system, the alien fleets gathered, their massive warships shining in the darkness. Millions of soldiers on board whispered and laughed about Earth's toy ship. Their leaders pointed at the small on the map and called it a joke. They mocked the humans openly, thinking the battle would be easy. Their confidence was absolute, their arrogance complete. Back on Earth, the prototype's engines hummed softly, filling the quiet hangar with a strange vibration. The ship was ready, waiting for the moment the galaxy would notice it. Every crew member ran their checks carefully, as if feeling the weight of the entire planet on their shoulders. "Sensors online," said the engineer, his voice echoing slightly in the empty space bay. "Weapons systems ready," said another. "All systems are green." Commander Ryland smiled faintly, knowing the galaxy would see more than green light soon. The prototype had something the aliens could never measure, something hidden in plain sight. Its main weapon was not the lasers, not the missiles, but the intelligence of its crew and the secret technology buried inside. The aliens had only seen the outside, and that was their mistake. They did not know Earth had spent decades building not a fleet, but a masterpiece. As the alien fleet moved closer, the laughter grew louder. "Look at that tiny ship," one commander shouted. "It is nothing, it cannot fight, it will be destroyed in moments." They called their spies to send reports back to the galaxy, showing Earth's prototype in all its small glory. They were sure it would be a quick victory. But in the minds of humans, there was no fear, only focus and preparation. Every heartbeat on the ship echoed determination. Every glance between the crew members spoke of unity and courage, and in that moment, the universe itself seemed to pause, watching quietly, sensing that something extraordinary was about to happen. The prototype floated in the hangar, small, silent, and underestimated, but inside, it held the power of a planet, the brilliance of human minds, and the courage of those who never gave up. Soon, the galaxy would stop laughing. Soon, the universe would learn that size and appearances could be deceiving. The smallest ship could change everything, and the humans were ready to prove it. The alien fleet moved through the dark emptiness of space, massive ships gliding with quiet confidence. Their leaders laughed and whispered among themselves, convinced that Earth's small prototype could never challenge them. Every sensor on their ships searched for threats, but none of them expected what was coming. Suddenly, a streak of light appeared far beyond the front lines, bright and sharp, moving faster than any ship the aliens had ever seen. "What is that?" One of the alien captains shouted, confusion and fear creeping into his voice. The alien leaders leaned closer to the viewports, their laughter fading as the small light grew larger and larger. The light slowed and revealed itself, a sleek, polished human warship emerging from hyperspace. Its hull gleamed with strange energy, blue lines running across it, pulsing like a heartbeat. The ship moved with grace, quiet power, and precision, unlike any of the alien vessels. Its engines hummed a strange, soft tone that seemed to vibrate in the chest of every alien watching. Inside the human warship, Commander Ryland stood on the bridge again, calm and steady. His hands rested lightly on the control panel, but his mind raced with strategy. He had studied the alien fleet for months, learned every weakness, and now it was time. "Myra," he said, "we begin. They do not know what they face, but they will soon understand." Myra nodded silently, her eyes focused on the approaching fleet. The alien ships now surrounded the tiny human warship, assuming their superiority would make the humans surrender. Their sensors scanned for weapons, their beams searched for hidden traps, but the human ship seemed almost invisible in its movements. It glided effortlessly, dodging their scans, and positioning itself in ways no alien had predicted. "Impossible," one alien shouted, as the human ship appeared directly in front of a massive destroyer. Its small size made it difficult to target, its speed and intelligence made it unpredictable. The alien soldiers murmured in panic, their previous confidence now replaced with unease. Rylan activated the warship systems, hidden energy fields lighting up inside the hull. The weapons were ready, but the real power was in strategy and surprise. The alien fleet had never faced opponents who thought differently, who used every angle, every moment, to gain an advantage. Even their fastest ships could not keep up with the human warship's movements. From the bridge, Myra watched as alien beams fired and missed, every shot slipping past like water around a stone. The crew held their breath, knowing that the battle had only begun. But the humans were not afraid. They knew their prototype, their creation, was more than a ship. It was a symbol of Earth's ingenuity and courage. The alien commanders shouted orders, their voices rising in panic. Surround it. Destroy it before it reaches our core. But the human warship moved too fast, too clever, weaving between massive ships, slipping through their formations. Every attempt the aliens made to trap it failed, and with every passing second, their fear grew. As the human warship positioned itself near the center of the alien armada, a quiet calm filled the bridge. This is it, Rylan said softly. The moment they will never forget. Myra glanced at him, her face serious. They laughed at Earth, but now they will see our strength. The stars around them seemed to shimmer, the universe holding its breath, waiting for what would happen next. The aliens had underestimated humans. They had mocked the small prototype, and now they realized that appearances could be deadly deceiving. A single human warship had arrived, and the galaxy would soon remember it forever. The alien fleet had gathered completely now, dark shadows stretching across the stars. Millions of weapons were ready, beams and missiles poised to destroy the tiny human ship. Yet, the human warship floated calmly, its engines humming softly, almost like a heartbeat in the silence of space. Prepare for engagement, Commander Rylan said, his voice calm and steady. The crew moved with precision, every hand knowing its duty, every eye alert. The alien commanders shouted orders, confident that victory would be theirs. But the humans had a plan no one could predict. The first shots rang out, alien lasers streaking through the darkness. But the human ship twisted and dodged, moving faster than the beams could follow. Every attempt to hit it failed, and confusion spread through the alien ranks. How is it possible? One captain yelled, frustration and fear rising. The human warship struck back, not with overwhelming firepower, but with precision attacks. Small alien scouts were destroyed in moments, their ships torn apart by the ship's secret weapons. The larger vessels could not react in time, their massive size making them slow and clumsy. The humans used speed, intelligence, and strategy to turn the tide. Inside the alien flagship, the commanders watched in disbelief. Their screens showed their ships falling, one by one, to a single vessel. The mocking laughter from earlier had vanished, replaced with panic and dread. Concentrate fire! They screamed, but their beams missed again and again. The humans moved too quickly, always one step ahead. Rylan watched the battlefield unfold on his holographic display. Calmly, he issued orders. Divide their fleet, push their scouts aside, and keep the larger ships focused on us. The crew followed without hesitation, their movements flawless, every maneuver carefully planned. The aliens had never faced this level of skill and precision. The battle raged on, beams clashing in the void, explosions lighting the darkness with deadly beauty. Alien ships attempted to surround the human warship, but each move was countered perfectly. The humans anticipated every attack, slipping through formations, striking at weak points, their actions almost like a dance, elegant but lethal. A large alien destroyer tried to ram the human warship, confident that sheer mass would win the fight, but the human ship dodged with a sudden turn, its engines glowing blue as it slipped past. Then it fired a single, precise energy blast, tearing the destroyer apart in a flash. The aliens could only stare in horror as their massive ship exploded, sending fragments into space. Myra leaned over the console, her voice tense but excited. They are falling faster than we expected, Rylan nodded quietly. One ship, one fleet, they underestimated us, but now they will learn. The alien soldiers began to panic, formations breaking, discipline crumbling under the human tactics. The clash was not just about firepower, it was about intelligence, courage, and the will to survive. The alien fleet had numbers, but humans had ingenuity, and that made all the difference. Each destroyed alien vessel was a warning, a message that Earth could not be mocked, that a single ship could change the fate of the galaxy. The human warship glided through the battlefield, silent and deadly, its engines leaving streaks of light across the dark void. The aliens had no answers, only fear, and the realization that this was not a battle they could win easily. And as the human ship prepared for its next move, the galaxy watched silently, knowing that the war had only begun. The alien fleet was in chaos now, their massive ships scattered across the stars. Confusion and panic ran through every officer. and their soldiers whispered fearfully among themselves. The humans had shown them a power they had never imagined, and now the tide of battle was shifting. Commander Ryland stood on the bridge of the human warship, his eyes scanning the holographic map. Every alien ship, every weak point, every opening was visible to him. "Focus on their command ships," he said calmly. "If we take out their leaders, the rest will fall apart." Myra nodded, fingers flying across the controls, guiding weapons and shields. The human warship moved with deadly precision, weaving between alien fire and counterattacks. Its shields absorbed blasts that would have destroyed any normal ship, while its weapons struck targets before they could react. Small alien cruisers were destroyed almost instantly, and larger ships struggled to adapt. One alien destroyer tried a surprise attack, firing a massive energy beam directly at the human ship. The beam tore through space, leaving a trail of glowing particles, but Rylan had anticipated it. The human ship twisted at the perfect moment, dodging the blast completely, and fired back with a weapon that disabled the destroyer's engines, leaving it drifting and helpless. Inside the alien fleet, panic turned into desperation. "Concentrate fire on the small ship," one commander shouted. "It cannot be allowed to survive." But every plan they tried failed. Each human maneuver was unexpected, intelligent, and devastatingly effective. The aliens began to realize that numbers alone could not win this fight. Meanwhile, the human warship struck again, targeting the main alien command vessel. A brilliant blue beam pierced its shields, causing alarms to blare throughout the ship. Explosions shook the hull as fires spread quickly. The aliens scrambled to save their leaders, but the damage was already done, morale collapsing rapidly. Ryland's voice was calm, but his words carried authority. "Keep pressure, strike quickly, and never let them regroup." Myra followed orders perfectly, every shot precise, every movement planned. The alien fleet tried to escape, to regroup, but the human warship anticipated every move, cutting off their routes and striking from unexpected angles. The smaller alien ships began to surrender, their weapons shutting down automatically as fear spread through the ranks. Even the largest vessels faltered, unsure how to fight against one tiny but deadly opponent. The humans had turned the tide of battle not with brute force, but with strategy, intelligence, and courage. A massive alien cruiser attempted a final desperate strike, launching missiles and energy beams simultaneously. The human warship twisted and spun, dodging each attack like water flowing around rocks. Then, with perfect timing, it fired a single concentrated shot that hit the cruiser's main reactor, causing it to explode in a brilliant flash. The shockwave sent nearby ships tumbling, chaos erupting across the fleet. Rylan looked at Myra, a faint smile crossing his face. "This is the moment they realize the truth," he said quietly. "Humans are not weak, and our prototype is more than they imagined." Myra nodded, eyes bright with determination. "They laughed at us, but now they will remember our strength." The alien fleet was breaking, their fear complete. The humans had survived impossible attacks, turned chaos into opportunity, and proven that even a single ship, guided by intelligence and courage, could defeat an entire armada. And as the human warship prepared for the final strike against the remaining forces, the galaxy watched in stunned silence, knowing that the legends of Earth had only just begun. The alien fleet was broken now, their ships scattered, damaged, and burning across the void. Fear had replaced their confidence, and confusion ruled their ranks. They had laughed at Earth's prototype once, but now their laughter had vanished completely. Commander Ryland stood on the bridge, calm as ever, watching the chaos unfold. Every move, every shot, every decision had led to this moment. The human warship glided through the battlefield with grace, striking the remaining enemy ships with precision. Each attack was quick, decisive, and unstoppable. A massive alien flagship, the last stronghold of their fleet, fired desperately at the human ship, beams crisscrossing the darkness, missiles streaking toward their target. But the humans had calculated every possibility. Every laser was dodged, every missile intercepted, and then, with a single concentrated strike, the flagship's core erupted in fire and energy, destroying the ship instantly. Silence followed the explosion, broken only by alarms and fires on the surviving alien ships. The galaxy itself seemed to pause, watching as one small human warship had destroyed an entire armada. Alien soldiers looked at each other with disbelief. Their pride shattered, their leaders had been defeated, their fleet annihilated, and their arrogance punished. Inside the human warship, the crew remained calm, even as explosions echoed around them. Myra turned to Rylan, her eyes wide with awe and relief. "It is done," she whispered. "The fleet, all of them, gone." Rylan nodded, his face serious. "Yes, but this is only the beginning. They underestimated us once, and they will never do it again." The surviving alien ships retreated, their formations broken, their morale destroyed. The humans had proven that courage, intelligence, and strategy were stronger than size or numbers. The galaxy would remember this day, the day a single human warship wiped out an entire fleet, and Earth's prototype, once laughed at, had become a symbol of human strength. Rylan looked out of the viewport, the stars calm and silent once more. The galaxy mocks us now, but one day, they will understand, he said quietly. The crew knew this was true. They had fought not for glory, not for revenge, but for Earth, for humanity, and for the future. The prototype floated silently, small yet powerful, its systems humming softly. It had done what no one thought possible, changing the balance of power in the galaxy. Humanity had shown that size, appearances, and expectations could all be deceiving, and the humans themselves had learned a lesson too. Courage, intelligence, and unity could defeat even the greatest odds. As the human warship prepared to return to Earth, Commander Rylan gave the order to set course for home. The crew worked silently, their hearts still racing from the battle, but filled with pride. The galaxy would speak of this day for centuries, and humans would be remembered as more than just another species. Myra looked at Rylan, a small smile forming on her lips. "We did it," she said softly. "They will never forget us," Rylan nodded. "No, they will not," he replied, "and this is only the start of what humanity can achieve." The stars stretched endlessly before them, quiet and full of promise, as the human warship disappeared into the darkness, leaving a legend behind.